inspired by what
most of whom
other
are
countries
dear
have done,
friends and
so that they can also
India
contribute
story.
to a better tomorrow for themselves,
All the distinguished
and their
participants
families.
at this very important
Empowered nation with
gathering,
saturation of
where we are
government schemes
discussing
across the country
several aspects of the
to
working
enable
of
every
the city,
family, every individual
which will,
to have a basic quality of life,
transformational
strengthened with ease of doing business
for
and ease of living,
the financial
is
sector
the
in the
second
country.
pillar on which we are
Ladies and
confident that
gentlemen,
India will become a developed nation.
I think it is very appropriate that,
And thirdly,
Prime Minister in his
the massive
inaugural address
investments focused on infrastructure.
that India,
The fact
being
that
a
we
port
doubled
for
our
the
port
world,
capacity, the
is
fact
the
that we
result of
grew
a
from
strengthening
74
economy.
airports developed
And the
in
transformative
65 years
reforms
of independence
that
now
have taken
having
place in the
150
last
airports in the country, expected to
I
become
myself
225 in the next 5 years.
talking
The
about
fact
the
that
India
114
story,
new
the India growth
inland
story,
waterways have started.
the India story of
The massive network of
25
roads,
years in the Amrit Kaal,
highways, expressways
and where we
that
are
have been
today.
developed in the last 10 years.
And I can assure
The
you,
transformation of the Indian
excitement
railways,
is palpable.
both for
The
passengers,
confidence in
having,
India,
giving them comfortable
I
travel,
find to be more
and
than the
the
confidence I
growth
see in our
in
own
freight,
people.
which brings down the logistics costs.
And I have absolutely no
All
doubt
of
in
these
my mind
infrastructure investments
that the
done to scale
Prime Minister's
are
vision
having a massive
to make
multiplier
India
impact on the
a
economy,
developed nation by
leading to a growing
2047
demand for goods and
is
services.
certainly
All
possible.
of these measures,
And ladies and
will
gentlemen, collectively,
are despite
preparing
any
India
challenges, any
with our
difficulties
crisp
that may come
for
our
the
way,
next
the
country
country
today as a whole,
during which we
has
hope to
resolved
see sustained
to
growth,
make India a developed
during which
nation,
we
a
hope to see
prosperous nation.
inclusive growth by 2047. I say this with confidence because the Prime Minister has developed the nation over the last decade on 3 tracks. On the one hand, our macroeconomic fundamental situation is extremely strong today. Be it our growth numbers consistently getting better and better, overachieving and becoming the fastest growing large economy in the world, our strong foreign exchange reserves, our razor focus on maintaining modest inflation levels and of course leading to modest interest rates. I think at some point of time, we have reached a situation now that our interest rates are almost aligned with the interest rates of many parts of the developed world. We are privileged to see millions of people coming out of poverty. We are able to see before our eyes the huge thrust to the Make in India program, to investments, record FDIs coming in. The last year has been a little bit of a challenge given the geopolitical situation, but these blips will come and go. On a sustainable basis, India's attractiveness as a investment destination continues. And therefore, a strong fundamental foundation of the macroeconomic, of the every indicator of the economy is one pillar on which we see a developed India in the Amrit Kaal in the next now 24 years. On the other hand, Prime Minister Modi firmly believes that we need to empower every citizen in the country. We are looking at 1.4 billion Indians, 140 crore Indians, with all the basic needs like food, clothing, shelter, healthcare, education, water, electricity, good connectivity, digital connectivity, roads available so that their life can be spent to meet the aspirations that a young Indian today has for a better quality of life for him and his family. India today sports a young population with an average age of 28.4 years, under 30 population, expected to remain under 30 for the next 30 years. This young India, new India, connected with the rest of the world with 930 million internet users, is today aspiring for all the good things of life that they see on their smartphone, on their internet. They're today inspired by what other countries have done so that they can also contribute to a better tomorrow for themselves and their families. Empowered nation with saturation of government schemes across the country to enable every family, every individual to have a basic quality of life, strengthened with ease of doing business and ease of living, is the second pillar on which we are confident that India will become a developed nation. And thirdly, the massive investments focused on infrastructure. The fact that we've doubled our port capacity, the fact that we've grown from 74 airports developed in 65 years of independence to now having 150 airports in the country, expected to become 225 in the next 5 years. The fact that 114 new inland waterways have started. The massive network of roads, highways, expressways that have been developed in the last 10 years. The transformation of the Indian railways, both for passengers, giving them comfortable travel, and the growth in freight, which brings down the logistics cost. All of these infrastructure investments done to scale are having a massive multiplier impact on the economy, leading to a growing demand for goods and services. All of these measures, ladies and gentlemen, collectively are preparing India with our twist for the next 2 or 3 decades, during which we hope to see sustained growth, during which we hope to see inclusive growth, during which we are confident of offering sustainable and inclusive development for every single person in the country. And in that story, our international engagements will play a very important role. We have grown our exports of goods and services by nearly 55% between the year ended March 21 and the year ended March 23. It's a phenomenal growth. In fact, one can't expect the same scorching growth year after year. But within 2 years, we have moved the needle from a $500 billion level of exports, which had been almost steady for several years, to now having a $776 billion export last year and hoping to sustain that momentum in the years to come. I think in the next 3 years, we'll cross $1 trillion. And by 2030, our target is to have $1 trillion of merchandise and $1 trillion of service, collectively giving us $2 trillion of exports from India. This will have a massive impact on the Indian economy in terms of creating jobs and work opportunities for our young boys and girls, giving a new impetus to the Make in India program, giving further opportunities to the Startup India vision and our new innovators coming up with brilliant ideas, engaging with a large market like India to enjoy the fruits of economies of scale. This export-led growth will certainly have a huge impact also on our macroeconomic fundamentals. We'll hopefully see stronger accretion to our $600 billion foreign exchange kitty, further strengthening our positioning both in the global economy and ensuring fast-track growth of the Indian economy. Towards that end, only yesterday, we added an additional 2,500 crore for interest equalization to ensure that our exporters, small exporters, MSMEs particularly, continue to get the export support in terms of interest equalization to equate interest between Indian rates and international rates. But my own approach has been that we are moving our export industry, our export sectors, more and more out of the clutches of government support to make them self-sustaining, to make them work on the strength of their own cost competitiveness and the strength of high quality of goods and services that we offer to the world. IFSC, the International Financial Services Center, the GIFT City, can become a linchpin in propelling our export-led growth and will also in the years to come become a big source both for finance and insurance or other aspects of our growth story, particularly for our export sector. In fact, as the Prime Minister said, the GIFT City is like a global nerve center of new age global financial services and also new technologies. And I'm sure we can leverage Indian talent through the GIFT City to expand our exports manyfold in the years to come. Towards that end, I think there are three areas where GIFT City can play a very important role. One, in global finance and accounting, we can become a hub of accounting, taxation, financial crime compliance services. We can become an offshore center around the accounting and auditing of finance world. We can also become a great center for export of educational services. I believe 2 Australian universities have already signed up. I'm also looking at setting up a campus of the Indian Institute of Foreign Trade so that we can prepare professionals to help our export effort for the future. Third, we can look at consultancy and advisory services in a big way, whether it could be financial consulting, legal consulting, other areas of consultancy, business consultancy, where GIFT City can play an important role. I think filling up the gaps that are existent today could be trade finance gap, it could be availability of foreign currency at competitive rates, insurance programs, credit insurance programs, onshoring niche financial services, getting aircraft and ship leasing into the GIFT City, further promoting our international bullion exchange, which we have started at the GIFT City, ensuring availability of green and sustainable finance for our massive renewable energy targets. And India is being recognized as a global leader in climate action today. All of these are opportunities for GIFT City to leverage on. I am sure as India is poised to power the world's economy for decades to come, GIFT City will provide a pivotal role, will power India's exports for our first threshold of $2 trillion by 2030, and then onwards to take it up to a $10 trillion export from India that we envisage to see by 2047. This is our sankalp, and I'm sure GIFT City will make this sankalp our siddhi. संकल्प से सिद्धि की इस यात्रा में आप सबको बहुत बहुत शुभकामनाएं और मेरे पैनलिस्ट कलीग्स को पुनः एक बार मैं क्षमा चाहता हूं कि मैंने थोड़ा इंटरप्ट किया बीच में पैनल को क्योंकि मेरे एक और कार्यक्रम में जाने का वक्त आ गया। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद, आप सबको शुभकामनाएं।
Thank you so very much, sir, for sparing your precious time and giving us Sankalp Se Siddhi Tak Ki Raah. We request Ms. Anjali Bansal to please continue with the session.
Thank you, and I think it was our privilege to really have Honorable Minister speak in some ways while we are also continuing our deliberations here. So I'm going to take the opportunity to pick up on three things he said. One is India, the solutions that we are creating in India are not just for India, but actually for the world. So when the Honorable